girl said, "Well, my name is Blue. It's very nice to meet you." And I said, "Hi, my name is Isabella. It's very nice to meet you guys too." And the tall boy said, "Hello, I'm her big brother." And I said, "Hello." After a little while, after a few minutes, they said, "Do you want to play with us?" I said, "Yes, of course. But what are you playing?" They said, Blue said, "Well, we're playing throw the M&M up. They said, we're playing throw the M&M up in the air, and we're seeing how far each of us can throw it up in the air." And I said, it sounds like a weird game. And then Blue responded, "Well, no, it's not weird. It's very fun. I enjoy playing it. Would you like to join us?" I said, "Okay, why not?" So we all took turns throwing the M&M up in the air. Her big brother got it stuck in the tree in my front yard, but after him climbing it and tossing it down to us, we finally got it back. It was such a fun day meeting Blue. I'm still very happy to be friends with Blue. Blue is an amazing person. But going back to the story. So, as me and Blue continued to throw the M&M up in the air, her big brother decided to lay in the grass because he got tired, I guess. But me and Blue just ignored him. We said, it's whatever. We continued to throw the M&M up in the air and laugh about how high he was going and how he was falling with his arms dangling. Just like kids do, I guess. So then, after a while, we decided to go check on our brother and see if he was okay. As we went to go check up on him, he plucked a piece of grass and put it between his fingers and made a duck call. I thought it was the most amazing thing in the world, while Blue did the same thing as her brother. I was so amazed. I didn't know what they were doing. I tried, and I still try, and I can't do it. And then as the afternoon went on, we went to go play in her front yard. And after a while, we found this hole in their front yard, and we played Duck Duck Goose, but with a little twist. Angry Chicken. So Angry Chicken is about where you play Duck Duck Goose. Oh wait, no, sorry. I'm so sorry. Angry Chicken is about where the M&M is the egg, and you try to steal the egg from the chicken. And if you get caught, you get pecked, and basically you die. And we played Angry Chicken for the longest time until we had to go home. And then we both went our separate ways and said goodnight. And that's the end of the first story. Here's the second one. So the second one is about me and Blue as well. This is how me and Blue decided to build our treehouse. So basically, me and Blue were in our backyard like most kids are. In their backyards playing, or in the front yard, or at the park, Me and Blue were in the backyard. She had this big, big oak tree in her backyard. She still has a big oak tree in her backyard, though. And we wondered if we could build a treehouse. And so me and Blue decided, well, maybe we can. I wonder what our treehouse would look like. So as me and Blue came up with ideas for our treehouse, we decided that our treehouse would cover the whole entire backyard, and it would be invisible. So whether no matter rain or shine or snow or whatever, even if you were underneath the treehouse, you would still feel the snow, the sun, the rain, no matter what, or you would see the clouds. So me and Blue thought we were amazing and fantastic and brilliant with our idea, which we were and still are. So basically, we said that the only way to get into the treehouse is by putting your hand on the oak tree, and it would scan your hand. And then after it scanned your hand and your eyes, it would show you if you had a And so we said that there would be a girl side and a boy side. The girl side would be way more awesomer than the boy side, of course. And the boys could decorate it however they wanted to. And we're still waiting for technology to catch up to our imagination. And once it does, I think we're going to build that treehouse. On to the next story. So the next story is a little bit more scary in a sense. So this story is when I was about 3 or 4, and I went to go play in the backyard like any normal kid because Blue wasn't home, so I decided I'd play by myself. And so as I went outside in the backyard, I just started thinking about what we learned in class that day and how to properly handle when we see a snake, because there was a snake on our playground the other day, I suppose. So we had to learn how to handle it properly. And because when you live in Texas, there's always bound to be a snake or two somewhere. So basically, I was outside in the backyard playing, having fun, and then I heard a hiss and a rattle. I didn't mind it. I ignored it. I thought I was just imagining it. I thought maybe it was the air conditioner in my neighbor's backyard. I didn't mind it. As I continued to play, the hissing got louder and louder, and so did the rattle. I looked around, and there I spotted a rattlesnake near my grandfather's shed. I froze. I didn't know what to do. Everything I learned in class, everything I could think of, left my mind. My adrenaline started to rush. My heart started to race. I felt my palms start to sweat. I didn't know what to do. And then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a black and white snake starting to slither towards me. It didn't have a rattle. I didn't know what kind of snake it was. I still don't. It scared me. It still scares me till this day. Just a black and white snake starting to slither up close to me. I didn't have shoes on. So, I didn't know what to do. I just stood there, froze, stiff, not moving. And then I decided that the best thing I could do was stay still and walk away as quietly as I possibly could. The only way I was able to walk away was by pushing myself up against the house and slowly sliding against the house and making my way towards the back door. As I made it inside, I screamed bloody murder and told everyone in the house that there was a snake outside. But by the time they got outside, the snakes were gone. There was no snake to be found. Everyone said I was lying and that I made it up, but I didn't, I swear, I didn't. So, that's my story about interaction with a snake. On to the next story. So this story is a little bit more wholesome. This story is about how I got my dog, the one I still have today. If you want to see what she looks like, I'll post a picture on my Instagram. So, basically, I was about 10. I was about 10 years old when I got my dog. Her name is Snuggles. I was 10 years old when I got Snuggles. And basically, I really, really wanted a dog. I continued to tell my grandparents, oh, I'll take care of her. I'll take care of her. I will. I promise. I'll clean up after her. I'll wash her. I'll take her for walks. You know, what you usually tell people when you want a dog. And then finally, I finally convinced them that I could get a dog. And I was so happy. But there was some conditions. She had to be a hypoallergenic dog, which sucked because I didn't want no hypoallergenic dog. I wanted a husky or a golden retriever. But no, I had to have a hypoallergenic dog. But now that I'm older, I'm very grateful for my hypoallergenic dog named Snuggles. She's growling right now. I'm sorry if you can hear her. But basically, me and my grandma and grandpa were at Rudy's. We were just sitting down. They were reading the news. My grandmother was reading I said, okay, fine, but you have to get here by tonight, and it's $200 or $100 instead of however much the original price was, which sucked. And so we drove to the location. We drove to the gas station that the guy wanted us to meet at to get the dog. As we got there, I saw the little puppy wagging her tail, wagging her tail, all that as fast as she possibly could as she saw us. I wanted to run up to her and get her and grab her and hug her and hold her, but I couldn't. We had to pay first. So, as my grandpa pulled out the money from his wallet, he realized that he was short, and my grandmother was put her money with his, and she was still short. So I had to pull out my wallet as well and pay for for my dog as well, which is kind of funny because I was about 10 at the time. I only had like ones and fives, but I'm still really happy that I had them. So as we paid for Snuggles, I realized that she was the one that I loved her so much, and she was the best dog in the world. So, as on the car ride home, I'm just holding her in my lap and having so much fun and rubbing her and petting her, trying to think of names, but we couldn't think of one. So, we just kind of waited till we got to the hotel where we were staying at, because we just went dancing previously. So, we all just kind of sat in the car, driving back to the hotel, and then all you hear is the dog starting to vomit. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what sound it was, so it freaked me out. I didn't know. And then the next thing I knew, there was a wet pile of vomit on my shirt, which sucked. Or on my jacket, so I'm a little lucky, but it still sucked. So I just yacked as loud as I possibly could, and my grandfather had to pull over at an H-E-B and get. My grandmother went into the H-E-B, and she got me a new shirt and a kennel for Snuggles. As this was all going down, me and my grandfather were just sat in the car, just kind of awkwardly, because he didn't know what to do. He was just kind of like, ooh, how you doing there, partner? While I was covered in vomit, which is kind of funny. But as we cleaned up Snuggles and I cleaned up myself, we finally made it to the hotel. As we made it to the hotel, we grabbed as many newspapers as we possibly could and put them on the floor and in our kennel. Then the next morning, I just remember waking up and seeing Snuggles all cute and fluffy and so tiny. And then I just held her and hugged her and pet her. And as my grandma and grandpa were standing near me, they said, "What do you plan on naming her?" I thought